How many of you can name the title of Bill Belichick's book? The whole purpose of the promotion was about the book. Except when you get interviewed about myriad topics. That is the point of an interview, of a national interview. The way this went sideways is during the interview with CBS, Bill Belichick's girlfriend, everyone's got the right to have a boyfriend, girlfriend, side friend, front friend, do whatever you want. Remember, do whatever you want. I have nothing against a 24-year-old dating a 73-year-old. During the interview, the 24-year-old girlfriend apparently said, oh, we're not going to talk about this, we're not going to talk about that, and was some sort of obstructionist as it related to the interview. CBS was less than happy about this because it was less than compelling, though it did become viral when it appeared that she was almost editing her 73-year-old boyfriend for fear that he would say something wrong or something they hadn't rehearsed. Not out of the question for publicists and PR people to go with celebrities who get interviewed or people who are older who are getting interviewed. You train them what to say. You teach them to talk about the book or to talk about the movie or to talk about whatever cause they're there to talk about. No matter what questions are asked, you train them how to answer by not answering. It is 101 of how to be front-facing. It's one of the first lessons. Don't answer a question you don't want to answer. I have no problem with that. Bill Belichick of sound mind and body, although that is going to be argued at some point by his other adult children, I would imagine, as more and more news continues to come out of how much money his 24-year-old girlfriend continues to get from him, how many investments she's made. Go check out the New York Post article if you want. She has amassed a bit of real estate holdings, coincidentally, after she and Bill started getting together. Coincidentally, maybe she won the lottery. Hard to know. But hey, she seems to have done it all legally. Do you know Bill Belichick can give her whatever he wants? All you have to do is put a gift tax, file a gift tax return, and you can give anyone you want anything you want. There's actually an annual exclusion. You can give someone 19 grand just because they look nice. Hey, I'll give you 19 grand, no tax liability. I'll give you 19 grand, no tax liability. You want to give more than 19 grand to someone? No problem. You're allowed to give. Last year, it was like $11.6 million over the course of your life. He could give his girlfriend, Jordan, $11.6 million tax-free. Just fill out a tax return. You get an exclusion. Of course, when he croaks, every penny he has will then be taxed because he will have used his entire lifetime exclusion. But we're getting too technical. The fact is, Jordan, the girlfriend, could easily have gotten money from Belichick to buy apartments, buy houses, buy clothes, whatever it is that Bill's buying. It's all good. The problem is you got to get to the statement. And the statement, strangely enough, about this whole situation was released from the University of North Carolina, his employer. I was the president of the Marlins. When I had a personal issue, I didn't release a statement on Marlins stationery. Quote from the University of North Carolina, head coach Bill Belichick. What does this have to do with his coaching? But it's okay. It's on official letterhead of Carolina. He said, I agreed to speak with CBS Sunday morning to promote my new book. I'm still not going to give you the title. You got to find it yourself. Prior to the interview, I clearly communicated with my publicist at Simon & Schuster. That is the publisher. That is who does the book tour. That any promotional interviews I participated in would agree to focus solely on the contents of the book, Horse Hockey. Simon & Schuster cannot deliver that to any client. I don't care if you're Stephen King. They cannot deliver an interview slate where it is, hey, only questions about the movie. Now, you may have seen it in Notting Hill. It's not the real world. You don't have to answer if you don't want, but you do not get a national program, CBS Sunday Morning, to in any way put a collar around the topics they will discuss or to even give questions in advance. Bill Belichick went on to say, The final 8-minute segment does not reflect the productive 35-minute conversation we had. It's called edited. If you're not live on a network, let me just make sure that everyone out there knows this. When you're live on TV or live on radio, that's live, and you do an 8-minute hit or a 12-minute hit or a 4-minute hit, that's live. When you do an interview that is taped for 35 minutes or 50 minutes, that is going to be edited. When you go on Survivor and you're there 24 hours a day, it's going to be edited down. And the edit process is one you don't control. Everybody knows the rules of engagement here. Everybody. He said that this presented selectively, that CBS presented selectively edited clips and stills from just a few minutes of the interview to suggest a false narrative that Jordan was attempting to control the conversation, which is simply not true. What do you expect Bill Belichick to say? He is completely enthralled with his 24-year-old girlfriend, and God bless him. Of course, he's going to back her up by saying, she's not Yoko Ono. She's not getting in the way of me being productive at UNC. She's not getting in the way of me selling books or being a good coach or being a good recruiter or a good father or grandfather. No, she is just helping me as the COO of my life. It's the most preposterous quote of all time. And what's funny is that CBS decided they had no choice but to respond, which is really something. They could have just known that everyone in the industry looked at Bill Belichick's statement and said, what a loser, what a joke. It's just not accurate. But CBS said, when we agreed to speak with Mr. Belichick, it was for a wide-ranging interview. There were no preconditions or limitations to this conversation. This was confirmed repeatedly with his publisher before the interview took place and after it was completed. You understand what CBS is saying here. They don't need to clear anything with the girlfriend. They need to clear it with the publisher. That's who you confirm the rules with. Now, if Jordan's in charge of Simon & Schuster, then Simon & Schuster has to say to CBS, I'm not the publicist here. I got nothing to do with it. Make sure you speak to Jordan, which is what everyone in North Carolina has to do, whether you're deciding to take anthropology or the history of art, or whether you're designing a post pattern for a new wide receiver recruit. You have to CC Jordan on your emails. She's no dummy. She is no dummy. You make yourself indispensable to an older man, and I mean indispensable physically, mentally, psychologically, spiritually. You show a sort of love that the man feels that he doesn't get, totally misunderstood, can't find love anywhere, and all of a sudden he gets love on the rocks. All of a sudden he's got a young, beautiful, maybe hugely manipulative woman, and guess what? He's all in for it, doesn't care. This is a story as old as time. Go back and look at Anna Nicole Smith. This is not out of the ordinary. But CBS in no way wants to be a part of that. None. There is no denying that CBS's statement is the accurate one here, and that Bill Belichick is giving statements through North Carolina that are manufactured drivel by the pen of a 24-year-old with zero PR expertise and zero clue, because when you're wading in the deep water, on the deep side of the pool where the sharks are, you can bet your sweet bippy that you're going to get bitten, if not swallowed whole. I'm not wishing that on Bill and Jordan. I wish them a lifetime of happiness together. I'm good. I'm not going to yuck on their yum in any way. That said, you got to know what you're in for. And what you're in for when you do an interview like that, and there is running tape that shows Jordan interfering and acting a certain way, it's going to get out. By the way, 86% of you have no idea the name of Bill Belichick's book. That makes me laugh. Though Simon & Schuster must be so despondent. All right, to everyone in Nothing Personal Land, here we go. The Art of Winning, Lessons from My Life in Football. You're welcome. Now you know the title. I'm going to give you a wait to see about this, if you don't mind. Something's going to happen at North Carolina, because as excited as they are to have Bill as their coach when it was first announced, and we all thought, wow, this is strange. I don't know why he's taking this job. And then we got to learn more. And then we learned even a little more. While the $10 million a year is a pay cut from the 25 he was making as coach of the Pats, remember, he wasn't coaching the Pats, and he was not making $10 million doing media. However, he is going to realize very quickly that college coaching is not for him. Remember, if he stays with Jordan, this 24-year-old would have great interest in higher visibility. The higher visibility comes with media, not with being the head coach of UNC. So I'm going to give you a wait to see when we tell you something happens. If it does, fine. If it doesn't, fine. Bill Belichick is one and done at the University of North Carolina.